Hmm. What's up, you guys? Chad Guthrie, the Dream Poet here, coming to you all with day 282 of my vlogging experience here in the state of Florida. And as you all can tell, tonight's a pretty lazy night. I'm working on my story, getting that done. It's turning out really well. 20 pages of it are finally edited to where I want them to be. I'm about a quarter of the way done with The Shining, and my goodness, I can see why it is an incredible read. I've not been disappointed thus far. I like how Stephen King has built Danny Torrance, Jack Torrance, and Wendy, and then taking things and unleashing what is the Overlook Hotel and Danny's The Shining. But that is not the topic of this video, you guys. Since it's a lazy night, everything's pretty calm. I'm to myself. I'm to my thoughts, and it just makes me think about a topic that I'm pretty sure everyone has felt at some point in their life, and that is, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell yourself from 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago? And for the older generations, like 20 or 30, like, what would you go back and tell them? Because it just makes me wonder. The last couple of years have just been a game changer in my life. I'm adulting more than I ever have, and I'll just say I was a late bloomer. But let us get on with this list. As Cher once said, beautifully quoted in one of her lyrics, "If I could turn back time, if I could find a way." I'm not going to quote the rest of that song, but I do like that song. But you guys, the first thing I would tell my younger self, especially my 8-year-old self, is to take yourself more seriously. When I think back then, as a kid, admittedly, I was very lazy. I wasn't putting forth enough effort than I should have. I was very lazy. There may have been some emotional stuff going on there that I probably didn't comprehend until later on in life. But if I could go back and tell my 9-year-old self, I would say to him, take yourself more seriously, kid. You have great future ahead of you and a lot of opportunities and a passion. Because for the most part, I relied heavily. I used my disability as a crutch, which honestly, that did cripple me. Because I realized, even though I do have a disability, I am doing more than a lot of people have done in my life in terms of life experiences. Granted, never been married, never had kids. I'll get there eventually, but I'm a late bloomer. But that is my first thing. The second thing I would say to my younger self is, don't listen to your naysayers. Don't listen to your cynics. Don't listen to the people that say that the idea that you have is an idiotic idea. I'd probably say for about the first 15 years of my life, I lived with that mentality. And, well, actually, better yet, I lived with it about on and off until finally, I just kind of gave up, like after around 19 is when I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to live my dreams. Who gives a crap about what other people think? If I had said that to or if I could go back in time and tell that to my 15 or my 10-year-old self or 12-year-old self, don't listen to your cynics. Don't listen to the people that are just there to tear you down. Those who are honestly just jealous because they see potential in you and they don't have it themselves. Honestly, I think for me that's where I just got a lot of just overall negativity from people. And I mean, granted, I'm building myself up continuously. I'm happy with who I am and what I will become. I'm pushing for great things and I'm striving for greater things. Now, on to my third thing that I would tell my younger self is don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. This one has been something that I've just learned in the last couple of years. Because I used to get put down a lot. I used to get strung around. And for the life of me, I just never liked confrontation. And I always let people pummel me into the ground. I haven't really learned how to stand up for myself just in like the last couple of years, maybe 3 years before that. Because in my mind, I would always play it over and over again without actually talking about it, then regret not doing it in the end. But this year, it's been totally different. It has been totally different. I've not been afraid to open my mouth and say things that need to be said. I would go back and tell that to me of 5 or 6 years ago, because that's what I should have done. That's what I should have been. Because I think, honestly, if you want to be an adult and somebody living in the real world, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to fight for it. You have to keep going. But that one kind of just hits the ballpark in all facets of my life, going from birth up to 25. Because that's what I've learned. Just stand up for yourself, and who cares what they think. Now, on to my number 4, is take more opportunities. This goes back to like 12-year-old me. The me who was still living and thinking like, oh, I'm weak. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't really care about not having that many friends. This one, quite frankly, if I had known I was going to get into video production alongside forestry, I would have done this like way back when. I would have honestly gone into acting. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like over the last year or so, I've just been contemplating how do you tone your emotions for the screen, for the camera, to create something that is visually clear, and is just overall striking. I feel like in a way I have conveyed that in my vlog. Some of it, and I know some days that my talking just sucks. The real me that is on the other side of this camera, there are times when I still stutter like crazy, and it's aggravating because I don't like stuttering. Stuttering annoys me. But I would say, like, taking a video production class back in high school, or taking a, or doing, like stage, or, playwriting or something, or creative writing, where, I would be enhancing my abilities better than they are now. But that's something that I really wish I could have gone back in time and told the stubborn me that you have gifts. Don't take them for granted, because you might lose them in the end. And 5, this one's a biggie. And this one, I'll just flat out say it. Know your worth. Know you have value that is beyond what people say that you have. Because the gifts you have and what you realize you will have that are yet to come You are blessed. And you are passionate. You are stubborn. You are not afraid to get back up and live your dreams. You are not afraid to buy a sailboat, move away or 7 hours away from your family to live an adventurous life that you will never regret, even to the day you die and you make it to the gates of heaven. Live that life and know your worth. Because the moment you know your worth, the moment everything else is just great. I mean, you pray more, you live better, you see life as ongoing. Like, there's so much, like, to wake up in the morning, even though some days, you might wake up late. Know that there is an adventure awaiting around the corner. No day is the same. Unless it's all about mindset. It's all about how you stay focused on wanting to make things happen. And you guys, in saying that, I hope you all have the same thoughts. I mean, in the comments below, let me know what you could wish you could go back and tell your younger self. Because I'd love to know. Because I know there are different things for some people, or for a lot of people. Or there's different things for everyone. So you guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That will keep you in the loop on daily content of my life here in the state of Florida. Stay posted, stay tuned. Keep in touch with me at Dream Poet at Facebook, as well as my Instagram in the links below. Thank you all for the love and support. Love you all very much. Peace, you guys.